So I'm sitting here watching the state of Indiana versus Allen Supreme Court hearing about how the judge removed his attorneys and refused to allow them to represent him pro bono. And the lawyer for the judge is saying that he has no Sixth Amendment right to choose his own attorneys. First of all, let me say this: every person in America has the right to be represented by counsel. And even if you are represented by a court appointed attorney, and you are not happy with that appointed attorney, you can fire him and get another appointed attorney. No judge in this country should put themselves in between a defendant and his right to counsel, whether they like the counselor that they choose, whether they like the conduct that the counselor has in the court. That has nothing to do with the fact that that man has the right to choose his representation. That is in the Constitution. And if the Supreme Court in Indiana does not get this wrong, I guarantee you, you're going to open up the door for many future appellate courts to be having to send up to the Supreme Court, the highest court, all of these Sixth Amendment violations and requests for relief due to the fact that they were not allowed to choose their own counsel. This is opening up a Pandora's box, and I'm here to tell you, not only does he need to be allowed to have his own counsel that he chooses, not that the state chooses for him. That right there is bias for the state to choose who represents you. I think it's important to know that, yes, when you receive court appointed lawyers, they don't necessarily choose who represents you. And to take that away from him because of this high profile case, that, truth be told, they don't even have any evidence that he even committed these crimes. They have taken away this man's constitutional rights since they arrested him. And if the Supreme Court, the Indiana Supreme Court, does not get this right, I guarantee you, you're going to tie up the appeal courts in Indiana, the Supreme Courts in Indiana, and the highest Supreme Court with all of these Sixth Amendment violations and requests for relief by failing to allow people to choose their own lawyers. This is not what the quote unquote founding fathers intended when they wrote the Constitution. You cannot pick and choose as a judge what constitutes that you are going to adhere to. If that's the case, she should be made, and not only is that the case, but she should be made to step down because clearly she has a biasness toward Richard Allen because of the severity of the case from Carroll County. This is a travesty, and everybody needs to be watching what's going on in Indiana when it comes to this Richard Allen case about these two little girls that was killed in Florida all these 5-6 years ago. This is not the way to get justice for them. This is not.